There are some shots. Of course, I probably turned down a shot I could make with my eyes closed, but that was to get one of my teammates a shot he could make in his sleep. You know what I mean? So we have 24 seconds, to find the best solution offensively, and this is what we're trying to do because this is what great teams do.
In just 16 minutes of action, he put up 9 points. Wemby had 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks, 6 turnovers, though, as you mentioned, that we're keeping an eye on here. He also made all 3 of his shot attempts there. So, Perk, the combination of Wemby's size, his ability, it makes it so he can kind of shoot from anywhere on the floor. But how did you want to see him approach this game offensively?
Well, how he's approaching it overall, Malika, a player that was sidelined because of health issues. And when you're on the sideline, you miss the game of basketball and you appreciate it more. That's what we're seeing right now, that joy out of Wemby, along with his work ethic and his desire to want to be better and be great. But on top of that, I want Wemby to be a big man that has guard skills, playing inside out. And he is showing that right now on both sides of the floor. Not afraid to mix it up, using himself a lot more in the screen pick and roll action as the picker, and also establishing himself on that low block mid post area. And then he's taking it to the outside where we see him pushing a rock, looking like a Jamal Crawford and KD at times.
Well, Malika, the Spurs were missing their 3 lead guards last night due to injury. De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, and Stephon Castle. So they started 4 wings and Victor Wembanyama. And as a result, he essentially played point center. You saw in some of those highlights, he looked kind of like Draymond Green, getting the ball at the center of the court and distributing it. And look, he can do a lot of different things, but create with the ball far from the hoop is something that is on the list. I don't know how much you want to do it, but I'm just going to tell you, coaches have been trying to talk Victor out of playing on the perimeter since he was 11 or 12 years old. He has never listened to them. He's not going to listen now. So the game plan last night, be it a one-off style game plan against a Chinese team, could be instructive in how Victor wants to expand his game more this season.
I looked at it almost like a young Giannis last night as far as him initiating the offense, bringing the ball up the court. Of course, the 6 turnovers is a little bit of a concern. North of 3 the last 2 years as far as turnovers. My question is going to be, what happens when De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper come back?
Right.
And as far as him having the ball less, how does he kind of how does the offense kind of evolve around Victor here? That's the biggest concern. Is he going to be in a corner standing? I'd love to get him just around the paint more,
right,
instead of less kind of floating around the perimeter. But I like him bringing the ball up. His base, I said it yesterday, his base is a lot stronger than it was 2 years ago when we saw it at Summer League.
And it's just so nice to see him back on the floor. And the expectations from the Spurs is they're not going to be without Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox that far into the regular season, if at all, right? They're trying to get him back kind of on the early side of all this so that they have plenty of time to gel before we get down to the brass tacks. You guys probably spotted this in those highlights, but in case you didn't, Wemby wasn't the only Victor on the floor last night. A friend of the show, Victor Wembanyama, and Victor Oladipo, the former 2nd overall draft pick in the 2013 draft, lighten it up here for the Lions, dropping 20 points, adding 5 steals. He said his story would inspire the masses, and certainly all of us here at NBA Today are rooting for him as he takes his next steps in trying to return to the NBA. But it was just great to see him out on the floor here.
Hey Kevin, Danielle with the Houston Chronicle. Nice to meet you.
You too.
What made you want to come play for this team, and do you see yourself signing a contract extension with the Rockets?
I do see myself signing a contract extension. I can't tell you exactly when that'll happen, but I do see it happening. And just seeing the quick progression of this franchise from where it was right after that James Harden, Chris Paul era. Seeing when Ime got here and how he turned it around so fast. Then I have some connections here within the organization, people I work with around the league already. So it just felt organic and natural coming into the gym, getting be a Houston Rocket for the first time. So I always have respect for this coaching staff, this fan base, this state, this city. So it feels right.
Kevin, last season I got an opportunity to speak with you after the game, and I asked you about Jabbar Smith Jr. and how much of you do you see in his game, and you talked about how his growth and his progression is, and how you've worked with him. What is it going to be like now, just being a teammate, being able to pour into him those things that you've done over the years?
Yeah, just being a resource whenever he needs it. Happy I get to see his journey up close and personal now. It's somebody I've been following and watching since high school, so to be on the same floor with him and go through the journey together is going to be fun. He's somebody that works extremely hard, that wants to be great, that's coachable, so I think he'll continue to just keep getting better. I think with more expectation, pressure that comes with being on this team and being expected to win games, I think that'll make you a better player as well, so I can't wait to see how he dives into this opportunity and gets better from it.
Christy? After playing for the University of Texas in college and, being a lot of other places since then, what's it like for you to be playing for a Texas team again for the first time in a lot of years with a lot of things you've done since then?
Yeah, it feels amazing to be back here. I always found my way to Houston throughout the years, just from friends and relationships I've built since coming to Texas, so always felt that this was a place that I could settle in and live, actually. I never thought about it, but I always say Houston is a good place to move to, and so for this opportunity to come around, it felt natural, it felt right. Got so much, always had support here from me playing at Texas, so I always felt the love every time I came back to Houston. So to put on a Rockets jersey, I know it's going to be it's going to go to the next level, so I'm looking forward to it.
Kelly.
Kevin, in terms of being a playmaker, you've been a top guy in that aspect for such a long time. How do you expect to add to this team, especially with the loss of Fred VanVleet and now the development of Men Thompson as a playmaker?
Yeah, I just think that playmaking is a team thing, and I think that as many plays we make for each other throughout the game, the better. Sometimes you don't always get the assist for it. Sometimes just you don't even touch the ball and you're creating a play for your teammates. And so if we play together, if we play off of each other, we move our bodies and we move the ball, I think that we all can showcase our playmaking talents. And so we got high IQ guys on the team that know how to play. So now we got to figure out what's the best way to mesh on the floor and then start executing from day one. So looking forward to that.
Hi, Kevin. You mentioned you're happy to be here in Texas as a resident. Are there any kind of Texas-specific things that you've enjoyed, Houston-specific things, since you've been a resident here?
I haven't done much, just trying to get acclimated to the city. I'm looking forward to, it's such a diverse city. It's so many different pockets and places you can roam into, so I'm looking forward to just roaming, to be honest. I don't know exactly what will happen, but I'm just looking forward to immersing myself here in the community and figuring out my rhythm within this community. So it's always I always figure it out. Every city I've been into, I just figure it out somehow, and I'm looking forward to doing that here.
Hi, Kevin. When you think about your legacy as a basketball player, how do you hope your time at the Rockets will add here?
Oh, sorry.
Xiaoxuan from Kuaishou, China. So when you think about your legacy as a basketball player, how do you hope your time with the Rockets will add to the story?
The legacy is just such a... It's a word that just got... The definition of the word just got confusing over the last few years to me, so... To me, it's just always about impacting and building good relationships within the organization. I just feel like every place that I've been, from the outside looking in, it may have been a tough breakup, from each team that I've gone to. But behind the scenes, I've built so many great relationships with people and lifelong friendships that have been formed from playing in these organizations. So I'm looking forward to just doing that and building upon that every single day. Building that bond, because who knows, people that work here now might get a better opportunity at another franchise, and it's just how the leagues work. So those relationships that you build on a human level, is the most important thing. And I think those are most impactful as you go throughout this journey in the NBA. Is just who you meet and who you build with.
Kevin, this is year 18 for you. You've won multiple championships. 19? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they took a year from me because
I was thinking 07, but yeah, I got it because it goes into 26, so 19.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 19. You've won multiple championships. You've been on tons of contending teams.
Yeah.
Do you see this as a championship level roster? And if you do, what's special about it?
I never talk. I mean, I never talk about championships on any team I've been on. You know, you just put your head down and work every single day. But you know, the formula I felt the last few years in the league is to have size, is to have guys that can penetrate, guys that can create extra possessions for you, guys that can switch and guard multiple positions, length, athleticism, a discipline, effort every single night from a scheme perspective, and camaraderie, you know, continuity, all of that stuff matters, and that's the type of stuff that usually has been successful the last couple of years from my observation. So I feel like we got bits and pieces of all of those attributes on our team now, and it's just all about how we cook it all up and come together and form who we want to be in our identity as we go forward. And that may take time. Who knows how long it'll take, but actually putting in the work and trying to figure it out is the fun part. So looking forward to it.
A few years ago, you talked about after passing Hakeem Olajuwon on the all-time scoring list, you talked about how in your household growing up, most of the talk was about MJ and about Hakeem. What does it mean to you now to be able to have a chance to bring a championship back to Houston for the first time since those Hakeem teams?
I mean, Hakeem is just somebody who's set the standard here in Houston and it's around the whole basketball community. I mean, he's just such an icon in the game of basketball, and even transcend the game of basketball, honestly. You know, somebody I really respect, and so just try to live up to what those past legends have accomplished here. You know, we kind of standing on the backs of what they did, and we're trying to take it to that same level, and the hope and the dream is to surpass that level. But first, we want to just keep working hard, and just so we can build that respect, garner that respect in the league and every game, and then build from there. So, you know, they set a high standard, and we want to eventually try to live up to that.
Hey, Kevin, you have, as has been mentioned, accomplished a lot in your career. When you were thinking about what was next, why Houston, and what was most important as you made the decision about what you want to see happen in your career? Yeah,
I mean, it all happened pretty fast. I wasn't expecting to leave Phoenix that quickly, but that's just the nature of the game. So I quickly just thought about who I was comfortable with. What coaching staff would just let me be me and understand what I bring to the table. And Ime's always been one of those guys that understood what I brought to the table and my mentality and my approach to the game. He always respected that and gave me my space to be me. So that was one of the first things I thought about. But living in Texas, you know, working with some of the people that I worked with before, but also seeing the identity of this team the last few years of playing with length, having size, playing in transition, driving and kicking, switching on defense. I think all that stuff is tailor fit to my game. So I wanted to play that style too.
Christy? When you've been playing as long as you have and accomplished all that you have, what continues to motivate you to work so hard and to grind so hard at this level of your career?
I just enjoy the process of perfecting a craft, or I enjoy competing against myself every day, like being better than I was the day before. You know, that's fun to me, you know. So I think as you get older, you dive into the details of everything in your life, and you know, so when you become detail oriented, it's just become nerdy. It's just kind of fun to be in that mode, you know. So that's my peaceful place, is when I'm perfecting, trying to perfect my craft.
Kevin, you've played with some really unique talents over the years. But when you look at some of the guys on this team who we've been leaning on, particularly the top guys like Şengün and Amin and their skill sets, what excites you about what they can bring to the table?
Yeah, just unique skill sets, body types that I haven't played with before. Amin being just a do everything, 6'7", athletics, just like a freak of nature. I don't think we ever seen that type of athleticism, the way he uses his athleticism. I don't think we have seen that in our league. So to be alongside that, I'm excited for. And then Şengün, I play with some bigs that are great at what they do. Great role playing bigs that can guard in the post, but that could set great screens. That can finish over the rim, that can block shots. But I think Albie could pretty much do all of that, a little bit of all of that, and also handle the ball like a guard out on the perimeter. So being able to have that at the big, that skill set on the offensive side, I just can't wait to see how we come together and what could come from it, So we got so many great pieces on the team that could complement each other well, but it's all about the reps we get in on the floor and how focused we are once we get out there.
Kevin, you've accomplished a lot in your career so far, but what is this still out there for you that you still you feel like you're still chasing?
I wouldn't say I'm chasing anything. I think as I get older, I just want to continue to, like I said earlier, I love the process of just getting better, working on my game. But I also want to, simply put, continue to, I got a lot of family. I got hundreds of family members, so my last name is really important to me. And I want to continue to just shine a bright light on my last name, lead by example, set a good example to people, just put way more respect on my last name than previous people in my family has done. They've done a great job up until this point, but I'm ready to take it to the next level. So I want to continue to just push my last name out here, to be honest, man, behind the game of basketball, and people know me for hooping. So, it's a great platform to be on right now.
And Kevin, just welcome to Longhorn Country, and also just wanted to know.
This is Longhorn Country, it is.
But just wanted to know, you mentioned the identity of this team and how it attracted you. How do you see yourself adding to this roster in the identity that Ime's built here?
Just try to be more versatile, another weapon that coach can use in different lineups, different schemes that he wants to use, offensively and defensively. Like I said, I think I match with the
J.J. Redick, Lakers taking a cautious approach with LeBron James ahead of his 23rd season. The Los Angeles Lakers officially kicked off training camp on Tuesday, but one major name was missing from the court, LeBron James. Head coach J.J. Redick explained after practice that LeBron is dealing with a minor nerve irritation in his glute, and given that he's heading into his unprecedented 23rd NBA season at age 40, the team is taking a deliberate and careful approach to his ramp-up during camp and preseason. It's probably going to be a longer runway leading up to opening night, Redick said. We're in uncharted territory here. After talking with the staff and with LeBron, we all agreed he may have pushed a little too hard in last year's training camp. And for me, as a first-year coach, having his full buy-in was incredible. But this year, we're being more methodical. He's got 22 seasons of wear and tear, and right now, he's dealing with a slight nerve irritation. So we're thinking long-term. There's really no blueprint for what LeBron is doing. No one has ever played 23 seasons in the NBA at this level. But what Redick is doing now is learning from how things were handled last season and adjusting to make sure the Lakers have their leader healthy and ready for the stretch that truly matters, the regular season and beyond. You're going to hear me say this a lot. It's uncharted territory, Redick emphasized. There's no roadmap for a player who's logged this many minutes, carried this much responsibility on both ends of the floor, for this long. We asked a lot from him last year, especially early in camp, and now we're working together to find what truly works best. The good news? LeBron is fully aligned with the plan. Everyone, from the coaching staff to the medical team, is on the same page. Still, there's no confirmation yet on whether the plan includes LeBron suiting up for any of the Lakers' 6 preseason games. It'd be great if he did. Of course, Redick admitted. We'd love to see it. But if not, we'll make it work. While seeing LeBron in preseason action would certainly help build chemistry, especially alongside Luka Doncic and the other new starters, health comes first. The Lakers are making it clear, this season is a marathon, not a sprint. LeBron on training camp plans. We'll figure it out. When LeBron James spoke at Lakers Media Day, he echoed Redick's approach. It's all about being smart, not rushing, and staying engaged. We're still figuring it out, LeBron told ESPN when asked about his camp and preseason availability. Of course, I want to be on the floor as much as possible, but we all know where I'm at, physically and mentally, and the coaching staff knows it too. We just want to make sure we're aligned when the time comes to step on the court. This is year 23 for me. I've made huge strides this off-season. I've been training all summer. But even when I'm not on the court, I'm still locked in. I'm tuned into everything we're building. That's what matters most. As training camp progresses, the Lakers' approach with LeBron has sparked discussion across the league. While some fans are eager to see James back on the court as soon as possible, most analysts agree that the team is making the right call by managing his workload from day one. Inside the organization, the message is clear: preserving LeBron's health and effectiveness over the course of an 82-game season, and potentially a deep playoff run, is far more important than a strong start in October. The decision to ease him in slowly isn't just about his age, but about sustainability. The Lakers are building their strategy around maximizing his impact when it matters most. Beyond LeBron, this also gives new head coach J.J. Redick a valuable opportunity to assess the rest of the roster more closely. With James sitting out portions of training camp and potentially the preseason, younger players and recent acquisitions are getting extended reps in practice, a crucial factor as Redick shapes his rotation and offensive system. Reports from camp indicate that Redick has already started experimenting with lineups that don't rely solely on LeBron initiating the offense. That includes more touches for Luka Doncic in primary ball-handling situations, as well as a larger role for supporting pieces like Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. The hope is that, by spreading the responsibility, the Lakers can reduce the physical burden on James while improving overall team fluidity. LeBron's role off the court has also taken on new importance. Several teammates and staff members have noted how engaged he's been despite limited on-court participation, constantly communicating, observing drills closely, and offering feedback to younger players. It's a continuation of his evolution into more of a mentor figure, one who still leads by example but also understands the power of his presence and voice in building team culture. Around the league, other teams are taking notice. The cautious strategy mirrors what the Spurs did in the later years of Tim Duncan's career, or what Miami has done with Jimmy Butler in recent seasons, prioritizing long-term readiness over short-term gains. In LeBron's case, the stakes are even higher. Not only is he still playing at an elite level in year 23, but the team around him has been reshaped to support one final push toward another championship. As for LeBron himself, he remains focused and optimistic. Speaking briefly to reporters after Media Day, he emphasized his commitment to doing whatever is needed, whether that means leading on the court, guiding from the sidelines, or stepping back when necessary to ensure his body holds up for the full campaign. The question now becomes how this slower ramp-up will affect the Lakers' early season performance. Will the chemistry develop fast enough? Can the team find its rhythm without relying too heavily on James in October and November? And when he does return in full, will the calculated patience pay off? One thing is clear: the Lakers and LeBron are thinking bigger than just the next game. They're thinking about April, about June, about legacy. And in year 23, every decision matters that much more.